So you got kings of hip hop, kings of pop, kings of R&B. You got different um you have different very talented people to whereas they reach a level of success that leads them to uh, a level of royalty, a level of accomplishment. Um, Not to mention, see, how can I say this? um, I wouldn't consider myself as a hip hop artist or even an artist. I believe artists were from the beginning of time, like Picasso, to where um, his work was later on passed on throughout the years and admired. I would consider myself to be more of a writer. I started off doing spoken word. I was just a poet. Um, you know how you go to different poetry events and they just start, at the end of the session, you know what I'm saying? And just to give you props, you know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, that's deep, you know what I'm saying? That's what I used to always say, man, that was deep. I just snap your fingers and stuff. So, um, for me, being a writer, I used to write short stories. I used to, uh, I used to write everything, you know what I'm saying? Poetry. I didn't start getting into hip hop until a friend of mine, um, a real good friend, introduced me to the hip hop thing. And I'm saying it wasn't really for me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really for me. Um, it was it just wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed. You know what I'm saying? Like one of my inspirations was Langston Hughes. Um, for me, that was an era where poetry was really popping off. You know what I'm saying? I would see pictures on the internet. Back then we had like Dell computers, you know what I'm saying? It was just really complicated. Everything has really updated. Um, but I would see these pictures and it would be like him standing there, sitting there on top of something, and he would be like just looking like he was uh kind of like ministering to the audience. It would be a lot of young people out there, you know what I'm saying? He was kind of spitting, you know what I'm saying? Never really seen a video in particular. But what I did see was images of that. A lot of images, not just Langston Hughes, but various of poets and writers and authors. I really wanted to be an author. I really just wanted to inspire people with my stories, with my intellect, with my insight. For me, it was just it was me. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be you. You gotta be you. You can't let nobody change you. You gotta be you. You know what I'm saying? So can't nobody be you. It's only one of you. You know what I'm saying? So so for me, poetry was my thing. You know what I'm saying? I would draw pictures with it, put a picture on it. You know what I'm saying? I was a really good artist. I still am. I would paint and I'm really good at it. My favorite thing to draw was people and animals. And it was something I was good at. So I thought I would grow up to be a great author, a poet, a writer. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was into. I looked up to various actors as well. I started getting into acting at a young age. I believe I started off as an actor and an artist. And for me, it was like, it was just amazing. You know what I'm saying? I was uh, in this particular program, summer program, and it just really was very just a different type of vibe from hip hop and poetry and the writing field. It was so different for me. I remember myself just on stages at a young age, and I would stand up there, do a little acting, do a little this, little that, and I would spit game to people, but people said it sounded like I was like preaching, but I wasn't. I was saying my story along with other people's stories, um and kind of intertwining it to people so people can relate to it. For me, it was the greatest thing I ever could discover. So in high school, you know what I'm saying, you had all these kids walking down the hall, headphones. I ain't never had no headphones. I couldn't afford it. My family couldn't afford to buy me no headphones. I ain't never know they had headphones. So they down the hallway doing they little dance or whatever. And I'm just chilling. And you know what I'm saying, go to lunch after class, and they doing all that on the table and stuff, just with pencils, all making all these beats. So I'll go sit with the crew. I'm like, shoot, let me go ahead and hang out with these people. They look like they poets. So I would sit at the table with them. They say, man, let me hear something. I'm a poet, man. I don't remember none of that stuff. I gotta read it. Yeah, let me hear something. Let me read it. So people would love to read my poetry, and then I met somebody. He was into hip hop. He was into rap. I wasn't, and he was like, man, that poem you wrote the other day, I want to hear that to this instrumental. I'm like, all right. So I spit it. It's my first rap, for real, for real. This first, like, my very first rap. So I say, horn poems, I believe, during high school, and dude was like, man, this hard. This hard, bro. And so there was this opportunity where I went to this after school program, and went there during high school, and I started doing ceramics, you know what I'm saying, making sculptures and stuff. I was in the art. I didn't want to do music. Then I started getting into graphic design. Then I started doing music and photography, music and photography and filming. So I got into photography, filming, video, and for me it was just a whole arts carnival to me. It was really like a circus to me, because it was fun. It was something to do. People enjoyed it. People liked it. People would tune in and listen. I wasn't trying to be famous. I wasn't trying to be this great icon. I was just really just trying to make a difference. And so with my words, because a lot of people could say some harsh things, you know what I'm saying? Um, and that was me. And we would sit at that lunch table almost every day until I graduated, until my friends had to go off to school because they were a lot older than me. Um, and I just remember just the feeling at the table, how we would just vibe all the time, and people would listen to me, and I would do little rap battles, and I would always win. And I studied poetry. I read a lot of books. I just studied a lot of. I didn't like reading too many books. I would really like read a lot of articles, because articles were shorter, and I could write an article myself. I went into really writing too much books during that time, because I didn't like writing a whole lot. I just like writing short things people can read quickly and be like, wow, and then just tell me what they think about it. And that was just my thing, you know what I'm saying? And then I started really getting into rap, but it wasn't for me. Then I just stuck with the poetry vibe of it, which was rap stands for, in my understanding and before my time, but rhythm and poetry. Shout out to the creator or the originator of hip hop. All props to the patriarchs, or per se the kings and MCs of this particular arts. And For me, I just really enjoy poetry. That was my thing. And I put it to a beat, any beat, you name it. Pop, country, it just all fit the way I wrote. Um my friend, he really taught me how to write for real, for real. Um and I give all props to him because when it comes to my craft, because he was like an anchor in me, pushing me to rap, and letting me know that rap and poetry is basically the same thing, but you have different type of poems, you have different type of raps, you have different type of rhymes. For me, poetry was an outlet to what I was dealing with on the inside and at home and in my environment.